The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios.
Hi, this is Mia Mosinzia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios and sponsored by international award-winning author Mia Mosinzia of Missing. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on over 40 podcast platforms, as well as hamiltonradio.net, Diamonds FM, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. We can be heard in over 100 countries, featuring over 1,000 well-known and amazing guests throughout the globe. And named one of the top 100 global podcasts in the New York Weekly Times, Hollywood Entertainment News, Los Angeles Weekly Times, Apple, and Chartable. So sit back and relax and enjoy another great episode of the award-winning Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios and brought to you by our official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mosinzia Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We're here with a terrific gentleman who is a Tennessee-based American Country singer, songwriter, and former regional director of A&R for Grammy-winning Regenerate Music, later acquired by Capitol Records back in 2014. He's a producer and co-host of My Backstage Pass podcast and co-founder of the station in East Tennessee. And his music goes back several generations, featuring his mom's band, the Tennessepardners, in the 40s and 50s. And he's got a brand new album out there, bringing together Grammy-winning musicians and friends in one of the Nashville's top studios, spanning 40 years. And it is he's got the new release featuring "Castinawaymyblues" and also "Lonesome When I'm With You." And we'll be playing those during the show as well. Live, ladies and gentlemen, Plus Studios, somewhere outside Nashville, Tennessee, the amazing Tennessee-based Americana Country singer, songwriter, and former regional director and AMR for Grammy-winning Regenerate Music, and with some brand new music through Spectramusic. Ladies and gentlemen, the multi-talented Billy Hubbard. Billy, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, Mike. Thank you for having me, man. I appreciate you.
Well, it's great to have you on board, Billy, especially with the self-titled release, Billy Hubbard. You're a Tennessee-based Americana Country singer, songwriter, and former regional director of A&R for Grammy-winning Regenerate Music Company, later acquired by Capitol Records in 2014. You're a producer and co-host of My Backstage Pass podcast and co-founder of the station in East Tennessee. You've got music going back several generations, featuring your mom's band, the Tennessepardners, in the 40s and 50s. Yeah. And you also have a brand new release. You have self-titled Billy Hubbard, and featuring a number of music. We'll be playing "Castinawaymyblues" later on, along with "Lonesome When I'm With You" and more. And before getting to all that, Billy, tell us how you first got started.
Well, my earliest memories are like you mentioned there, my parents were into music. My dad, he was in my mom's band, but even way before I was born, my mom toured the Southland with some of the greats, who later became, like the Carter family and Dolly Parton, even when in the later years. So I kind of grew up around all that. To be honest with you, they were a lot of folks from Hee Haw, for example.
Buck Owens, Roy Clark, and all that. Did they throw you on the show or something, or what?
Yeah, man, that was some crazy stuff. It was back when you didn't have much options on TV. And to be honest with you, I came of age in the 70s, so I was a little bit. I was almost ashamed. I'd say that, but I wasn't into the, that music, the Hee Haw era, that my parents were friends with those guys. And so anyway, I kind of, my mom did teach me my first guitar chords and all that. So I kind of my first memories were actually getting in trouble for, I didn't know what a Martin guitar was, when I was young. So I'd drag it out and be banging on it. And, my mom's old mandolin I've actually still got my mom's old mandolin from, is older than me. And early 50s Gibson mandolin. And so, yeah, that's my earliest memories, was getting in trouble for dragging out instruments that were probably, they weren't legendary like they are today. But so, yeah, that's my earliest memories. And actually, when I recorded in the studio, I took I had Sean Camp played on. He's an incredible mandolin player. Sean Camp, he's a Grammy winner. That unless some people may remember, he just actually won another Grammy for co-writing Willie Nelson's new record. I think it was called Title Cut. I think it's called Beautiful Mind.
Oh wow, amazing!
Yeah, he played my mom's mandolin. Well, I took my mom's mandolin to Nashville when we recorded in studio a couple of songs, and the last song on the CD is actually called Goodbye Waltz. It's kind of a sad song because it was like my mom and I played together, and she liked the waltz, so I played. I wrote this song for her after she passed away called Goodbye Waltz, and so Sean played. He had a really nice mandolin, I forgot what brand it was, and so we did 2 takes. He did play along his, and then he took my mom's because I kind of was hoping that would work out, and that's the last cut, like I said, on this record, and so I left it up to the engineer in the studio there, studio called Welcome to 1979, and so my mom's mandolin had a little softer sound, so that's on the last song of the album. It was me playing acoustic guitar and Sean playing my mom's old mandolin for a song I wrote for her, and so actually I got. If you listen to it, I was a little embarrassed by it because I got choked up. I got a big, lump in my throat. Every time I try to take it, I get to a certain point. I thought, oh man, kept doing retakes, and finally the engineer and they all said, I said, I'll leave it to you guys, and I said, let's redo it. I said, we didn't want to use the auto tune or any of that stuff. The motion, leave the motion in there. That's cool. And every time I listen to it now, I must say, you want everything to be perfect, and that's pretty raw. So, but yeah, that was it goes like you said. My earliest memories were my mom's old mandolin that I still have, and my dad's Martin guitar, and so that's kind of how I got started. And those old characters from Hee Haw I was connected with a lot of those. Actually, and Charlie McCoy, who was a lot of people don't know that. Charlie harmonica, great, who played with everybody from Elvis to Dylan. I don't know. He's been to our house a few times, and he tells us so many stories. One day he's telling us all these stories, and I said, man, you should write a book. He said, well, I haven't. He went up to the car and got me a book, but he was the music director for Hee Haw, for years.
Interesting.
So he's and he's on a lot of playing harmonica on. I think he played 4 or 5 songs on the record. But yeah, that was my earliest memories was first of all, being kind of embarrassed by the old country in the early 70s when I was into rock and roll and all through the 70s. And then I can't, those guys, their brains don't develop till we're probably 30. So
mine's still developing at this point. So
yeah, my wife says mine's not developed yet all the way. But yeah, so I finally, it's like I reached a certain point when I thought, well, I'm starting to, I like that old music. I'm starting to see the value, and now some of my favorite music is, the Hank Williams and some of that cool old music. So, Hank Williams Sr., that is. So yeah, man, that's kind of how I got started was just when I was a teenager, I guess, playing guitar.
That is rather interesting too. And of course, speaking of playing guitar, you play guitar back in the day with the Sunshine Singers, and tell us about that.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. That's kind of interesting. Well, okay. I was like I said, in the 70s, I was into, like, I guess most people, as a hippie. I was a baby hippie, and I was a grown-up hippie. And so anyway, I decided that I wanted to straighten my life out and quit partying so much. And I think I was 21, so I went to, my sister was in church. So anyway, I went to this church, and there were these girls in there that were singing. They were just incredible. So they kind of talked me into, it's trying to keep me out of trouble, I think. So they said, hey, why don't you join this group? And they were actually, they went down to, we did some kind of band thing, we won some competitions, and then we ended up going to Texas, and we were traveling around. So yeah, it was all these good looking girls. So, and I was just, like I said, I was 21 years old. And, so that's, I kind of got into that, but I wasn't really, I was playing electric guitar there and with these girls. And so, yeah, that was kind of an odd time in life because it wasn't really my style. So, but I did it for the good-looking girls. So that leads into another story later. I do have a song. Okay, I'm going to fast forward. This ties into that one a little bit because I got a song on the record called "Gotta Be Real." Okay, so I put on this record. I tried to make it to where I have a variety of songs that were, I'm basically a story songwriter. So when I put together this record and I pulled some of the most popular songs, put 10 of them on there, and one of them was. This is a true story. So first time I went to the church, and I was getting kind of alerted to meet some girl there or something. So I shouldn't say that. But anyway, I went into, as I walked in, I still had long hair, and I had, I didn't have I was just dressed in my best blue jeans, and this is 1977, I think. Mm-hmm. And when I walked in, I didn't mean to look like Jesus, but I did. I had the same. I really looked just like Jesus. So I walked in, and this little, my sister went to this church. So I walked in, and this kid was everybody's looking forward to. One little kid, he was turned like on the bench, looking back at the door. And as I walked in, I tried to be real quiet. And I kind of was going to sit on the back seat, hope nobody see me. So this little boy that was standing in the pew turned back towards me. He started screaming, "Mama, Mama, there's Jesus." And the whole church turned around, and it got so noisy, and oh man, it was terrible. And so I thought, oh boy. And then a few weeks later, I thought, someone told me, they said, "Well, hey son, don't you want to, your hair's too long. God don't want your hair to be long, don't you want to honor God and do the right thing?" I was trying to change my life, So I said, "They said, you want to please God?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I want to do that." And so anyway, I went and got my hair cut. And I got me like a suit. I think it was my first suit I ever had. Mm-hmm. Got tie, learned how to tie. So fast forward to, I don't know how many weeks. So I'm sitting there and somehow or another, I ended up sitting up near the front, and I didn't like that. And I was still uncomfortable in this suit. And I looked over one day, and it was like the Men in Black. I just had, everybody was wearing the same clothes, and I looked over, and I feel like this is a song, "Gotta Be Real." This is how I wrote this song on the album. It's the fourth song, I think. Anyway, I heard, I don't know, some people say, "Oh, I heard God talking." I don't know if this is God talking or is my head, but I heard something in my head said, and the lyric on this song is, "God said to me, son, said, I made you just to be you. You don't have to be a clone of all the others on the pew. Just try to be like Jesus. That's the best thing you can do." So I wrote this song, and I had that suit on, and I realized I couldn't do that. But it doesn't mean I'm a bad guy, or anything. I just wasn't me. So that's somehow that I went down a rabbit trail there, and then another rabbit trail. But just telling you about that song, it tied in with the Sunshine Singers and how that song got to come about. And so anyway, it Gotta Be Real. I wrote that one, and when we cut it, we tried to, I threw that one in some a little, good electric guitar work, and it's a great. So this record though, it's got several varieties, of sound. So that was more the rock and roll.
Oh yeah, and of course we'll talk more about the your self-titled release of Billy Hubbard, and we'll be playing "Castinawaymyblues" and also "Lonesome When I'm With You," Civil War Letters, and more in Spectramusic with Billy Hubbard. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Like a professional website without breaking your budget, Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give an official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strange strangers, one target, where truth is illusion and those you love be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson Zia has garnered great reviews. In Eve 11 endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Johnny Cassidy, Forrest Riley, and Meadows. So grab your copy today for it goes Missing by Mia Molson Zia. Available on Amazon. Also, check out The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com. There are 40 podcast platforms, heard in 100 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple Music. And also coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, TuneIn, and also heard on Apple Music, Odyssey, BitChute, Rumble, YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and follow us on social media, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and more. Take us with you on any mobile device. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast, t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, phone cases, and more. Amazon.com/Mia Molson Zia. Check it out today along with the throw pillows as well. And also, check out the latest great gift ideas from Mia Molson Zia, like t-shirts and phones. Amazon.com/Mia Molson Zia. Check it out today and support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. We're here with the amazing Tennessee-based Americana Country singer-songwriter Billy Hubbard from Spectramusicgroup here on the Mike Wagner Show. And you've been in music for quite some time. And once upon a time, you were a regional director of A&R for Grammy-winning Regenerate Music. And tell us more about that.
Yeah, that was for a song called "Your Presence Is Heaven," and that was I used to do some artist development and stuff with those guys, and we actually the kid that Chris Garma was the CEO, the founder of that company, and I was old enough to where I taught him to play guitar when he was or gave him a few lessons when he was a kid. So that's kind of how I got into that, and then it kind of led into this venue. He turned me on to, I mean, this is something that some artists might want to hear is, it's back when the internet was getting fired up, and everybody was trying to figure out how to make things go viral and musicians. Well, he turned me on to Chris, who was the founder of Regenerate Music. He told me, he said, "Hey, you got to check out this book called Contagion on Amazon." So, well, I found it on Amazon. I don't know where, so I was lazy, so I just get the audio book and listen to it when I was driving or something. But so it was Regenerate. So that's one of the best things I ever got, Regenerate. And I learned a lot, as an artist, it helped me out as well. And so then that's how we founded this place called, me and my brother-in-law started this thing called The Station in East Tennessee here. It's actually kind of like, I don't know if your listeners may be familiar with Bluebird Cafe in Nashville, but anyway, long story, but it's a small, like a listening room venue, holds, we've had probably 100 people in there, but typically we come with 75 people. Anyway, so we started developing this thing, and so for the last 10 years, it's been one of the, probably one of the most popular, venues in East Tennessee, around the Knoxville, Tennessee area. And, I guess I just tied that in because of the way I followed Regenerate's training and teaching and what the philosophy of making things go viral. And that's a whole other story, but the listeners can always, I guess that book's still out there somewhere. That's been several years ago, but a friend of mine just told me that they found it. And so anyway, so then that ties into the station, like we have, and to make something go viral, basically the book talks about, you want to make everybody feel exclusive, like a speakeasy or something where you got a secret thing where, you have and so the way we do the station in East Tennessee, by the way, I think you mentioned that as co-founder with my brother on that, is you want, we set it up, where we have start developing an email list, and the shows seldom go public because we have a few thousand people that subscribe, and so put out a show, say, hey, you get first option, and we give before it goes public, and everybody sets their alarm. Okay, just take so and so at a certain time, and try to get tickets. Even though it's a small venue, we've had we've had Amazing Rhythm Aces, Will Russell Smith.
Oh, nice. That's my favorite. Amazing Rhythm Aces. Third Rate Romance. Yeah.
Third Rate Romance. Russell. We've had Russell Smith there, so for example, and unfortunately he passed away a few years back, and he was there a couple of times. And Pam Tillis, she's a good friend of mine. She's been there. Actually, Pam was doing talking about the song. He's talking about Castinawaymyblues. Well, she wanted to. She after shared my record, she was wanting to produce the music video for that one, and we just hadn't got rolling on it because it has to be. She wanted to be released in the summertime, and anyway. So anyway, that's a whole other story though. The venue, the station, that's a pretty cool place if you're ever in East Tennessee for folks. Check it out or check us out on the Facebook.
We will certainly do that as well, too. This also led you to you being a producer and co-host of My Backstage Pass podcast and also those ventures as well. Tell us more about that.
Yeah. I'm partners with my buddy Lee Zimmerman, who's a friend of mine from Capitol Records. Well, he was Capitol Records in Miami. He was a radio promoter. And he moved to Tennessee. He retired from down there and moved to Tennessee. And, well, Lee is famous. Lee Zimmerman is, I'll give him a shout out here. He's famous for Jimmy Buffett's, making Jimmy Buffett a star, basically. Margaritaville. He's got gold records on his wall as promoter for not only him, but I mean Bob Seger and some other big stars. But
nice.
That became famous. But so anyway, Lee and I, we both. Now we live, about 15, 20 minutes from each other. So, we started doing that because we have so many friends in the music business. And so, it's just mybackstagepass.com. And we were just talking today about the sad news of Melanie, from Woodstock, who passed away this past Tuesday. And Melanie, she wrote, she's famous for the song Brand New Key and a lot of other. She had several other hits, but that was probably her most famous. But yeah, we were really sad about her. Melanie was actually going to come to the station. I think we had her on there in September, October, I think 2021. But you can hear that one on mybackstagepass.com, and she's such a nice lady. And her story about that song, Brand New Key, it's really. I mean, I thought I knew some of the story. I'd heard the rumors, but it's an incredible story. Basically, I'll tell you a little bit. She wrote that song since, in honor of her. I'll tell you this a little bit. She wrote that. She had been on a fast. She was a young girl, and she had been fasting and she was breaking her fast after a month. I don't know how she survived this, but
a month. I can't even do it for about a day or two.
Well, I know. I can't imagine. Maybe she was cheating a little bit, but she was fasting. Maybe it was a juice fast or something. Somebody had to get some nutrition, but when she broke her fast, it was on a McDonald's hamburger, and she ate that hamburger, and all of a sudden she wrote that song, and Brand New Key. So it's a whole podcast. We had about an hour with her, and so yeah, I was really sad to hear. She's such a nice lady, but and of course, and when she was up there at Woodstock, I can't remember how old she was. She may have been a minor. Gosh, I can't remember. But I remember her mom. They were taking her from the helicopter. They had, chopper would come and they would take them over to near the stage, and they picked her up and they weren't going to let her mom get in the chopper with her. And she told us, "Oh, that's my manager," but. So that's the only way she could get her mom to go with her and take her. But yeah, that's a whole other story. But
that is so amazing. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And of course, you got some legendary songs yourself. You've had No Greater Love, a Christmas song, Johnny Law, and Sitting on a Rock. And tell us a bit about those.
Yeah, man. That was on the record, the one that probably needs the most explanation that I've had a lot of great reviews on the album, and I think I've had 10 or 12. I've got some average, probably 4 out of 5 stars, which I'm very flattered about because, as an artist, is never really, sometimes the time we get an album produced or whatever, maybe say you're a little floundered on it, so you're hard to judge your own work sometimes, but. The Civil War Letters is one that I always feel like I need to explain because people think I've lived all the songs. I mean, I didn't really live that song, of course. Mm-hmm. But the Civil War Letters I was traveling, my wife and I were driving, we were heading down South Florida a few years ago. And she was driving, so I was just started reading something. I started reading Civil War Letters from soldiers. I don't know how I came around to find this link, and I was just fascinated. Those guys were, lots of times they would be like teenagers. I mean, sometimes they were like, the younger boys, gosh, they would be really young. But most of them were, under 16 to 18 years old. But I was looking at their writing, and I was fascinated why, it was like really mushy for today's, but it was very poetic. It'd say, "Oh, my dearest darling," and I think, wow, man, and that's pretty mushy. And then I would read more about how they talked back then, how they wrote, and the literature, their English. I mean, it was so advanced for what you think for today, So when I read them, then I started reading, and I read all these sad letters. Soldiers sometimes would be dying, and they would. So the Civil War letters is a composite of several stories, and it's really a sad song. But the soldier is writing, and he's encouraging. Basically, he's encouraging himself for the first few verses of the song. The last verse, then he's wounded and pretty much dying, and so then he's trying to encourage his wife, encouraging her. So it's kind of a sad song, but man, the music is just incredible. That one has both Grammy winners, friends of mine, Sean Camp on mandolin, and he also did the fiddle. Sean did, and then Charlie McCoy, his harmonica was just incredible on that. And Charlie's, he's already been inducted into everything in the world, Country Music Hall of Fame and everything else. And now he's a member of the Grand Ole Opry. So
wow,
I was fortunate to be with him there recently backstage and hanging out with him. But Civil War Letters, it's really a sobering song, thinking about what our soldiers, went through. But that's the third song on the record. The second song on the record.
Okay. All right. And then we'll talk more about your other music. *Castinawaymyblues will be playing that in just a moment, along with Lonesome When I'm With You with Billy Hubbard's self-titled release. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios, and brought to you by official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. We'll be back with Tennessee-based American country singer-songwriter Billy Hubbard of Spectramusic after this timeout.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. It talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mia Molson-Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Ray Powers, and boy, are you in luck. Right place, right time. Tuned in to The Mike Wagner Show. You heard me.
We're back with Tennessee-based Americana Country singer-songwriter Billy Hubbard on The Mike Wagner Show from Spectramusic. Right now, here's one of his releases from his self-titled debut. Here's Billy Hubbard with *Castinawaymyblues on The Mike Wagner Show.
I went down to the lake this morning to wet my line. Seems to be the only way to get you off my mind. With every cast I leave another memory behind. Now good times are getting really hard to find. casting away my blues to forget about you. Who cares if I've only had a strike or two? I'll keep casting away my blues to forget about you. I don't care if the fish are biting, it's all about you. You say my country life just doesn't fit your style. I know you did your best to try it out for a while. And I need the mountains, you need a city view. But I'm not cut out to live on Park Avenue. Casting away my blues to forget about you. Who cares if I've only had a strike or two? I'll keep casting away my blues till I forget about you. I don't care if the fish are biting, it's all about you. My boots and bought me those fancy shoes and long sleeve shirts to cover my old tattoos. I used to think you were the only one for me. There's a whole lot of fish out in the deep blue sea. Casting away my blues to forget about you. Who cares if I've only had a strike or two? I'll keep casting away my blues to forget about you. I don't care if the fish are biting, it's all about you. I don't care if the fish are biting, it's all about you.
Great song, Billy Hubbard. That was Casting Away My Blues here on the Mike Wagner Show. And tell us a bit more about that song and what more inspired you to write about it.
Thanks, Mike. Okay, that song is kind of okay. Well, first of all, when I was a kid, we had near the lake. We didn't really exactly on it. We had a lake access. So my dad was he was actually commercial fisherman on the side as well other things. So I kind of grew up fishing, and I was the only boy. I had three sisters, and so anyway, so that was part of that song ties in a little bit of fishing, kind of an analogy with getting hooked up with the wrong.
Getting hooked up, I like that one. Yeah. Getting hooked up, casting away. I love that one.
Yeah. I got hooked by the wrong. But you know what? When I was at that age, I was actually very, when you're a certain age, like I say, okay, when you're late teens or early 20s, our brains are not fully developed. So I didn't care about personality. It was all about looks, And so I had the girlfriend who who was much more refined than I was, and so I, like the song says, I need the mountains and you need the city view. I'm not so anyway, that fortunately, I would hate it. Now I've been married to the same wonderful lady, my wife's there for going on 39, 40 years. I'll have to not guess that, but anyway.
Oh, 39, 40? Congrats.
40 years. Yeah, we may. So I did wise up pretty quick, but yeah, I first was just going by, I don't know, but I did fortunately ended up with I get it all now. I got a beautiful wife and, in the country too. So
there you go. There you go. Yeah. Get more as you bargain for. That's a great thing. And also you have another release we'll be playing at the end of the show, Lonesome When I'm With You, and tell us more about that song and what inspired you to write it.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, you know what? That is okay. Well, first of all, this record, as a guitarist, I'm partial to guitar music. So Lonesome When I'm With You, duets are hard to write. I guess any songwriter probably knows that, because it's a exchange, back and forth exchange, kind of like John and June, it's that sort of thing. And so I worked on that one for a while, trying to get it nailed down. But I got this friend that I sing that did the duets, two duets on this record with me, Bethany Jean Smith, and she's like kind of like a daughter for my wife and I, and an extra daughter, she's not really kin to us, but we love her. And so she's this incredible girl that we've known for years since she was young. And so, yeah, she joins me on that one. And she's very refined. She actually used to sing when she was in hospital, even as early as hospital. She sang Barbara.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So her vocals, I'm pretty rough, but so the contrast, but the story of the song was, that came about also when I'm with you was, unfortunately I haven't lived all these songs I wrote. I mean, I've wrote some of them, or else I'd be divorced, but, whenever I wrote that one based on, like when cell phones, like, we have two daughters. And so sometimes, your family gets together. Even if it's just a husband and wife, with a cell phone, era that we all live in now, that's really how that came about, where my wife and I were talking. Sometimes you just have to, you get in that trap of being together, but you're not really together. So that's how that song started out, and then that was a seed for it, and then it evolved into what it is. But that's a very, very popular song with, when we play live, and this, and the guitar, I was telling you, as a guitarist, I threw in some great guitar solos on this one. Like Lonesome When I'm With You, it has, it's about a minute, 15 seconds at the, about 2.5 minutes in or so. But yeah, it's kind of crazy, but the rhythm of that song is, I think everybody ought to check that one out. I mean, I think that's probably one of my favorite songs on the record, and most people that's heard it.
And of course,
it's kind of like the rhythm is kind of like just. It sounds funny, but it's kind of like riding a horse. It's like galloping. The rhythm of that song gallops kind of.
Oh, wow. Amazing. Okay. And people aren't going to feel lonesome after hearing that song. Of course, speaking more of the music, we already talked about Civil War Letters, Got to Be Real. You also have For the Moment, Mighty Low, Take Me Back, When I Look in Your Eyes, I Think of You, Goodbye Waltz. And you can talk about, one or two of the songs or as many as you like about it.
Yeah. Now, I'll tell you another favorite for guitar, folks that like guitar solos. There's another great one in Take Me Back. That one's got a great one. And there's another, this one's as well, subject guitar solos. Or I Think of You has got probably one of the longest. It's about a minute and a half. And
wow.
And Take Me Back, I Think of You is kind of, I tried to put in, myself and the producer, Ryan Seiss, who played guitar on as well as I did on this one. And we were trying to mix in the sound of Bakersfield, and the Bakersfield sound, the Byrds.
Oh, yeah, and Buck Owens, too. That's another one. That influenced me right there is Buck Owens.
Oh yeah, well, you'll hear some Bakersfield sound in this album. If you listen, and we put in spaghetti western kind of sound on "Take Me Back" especially, and when I was in the studio with Charlie McCoy, he did harmonica on "Take Me Back," and gosh, he did it on several of them. He did it on "Mighty Low" and "Got to Be Real." Anyway, he's a civil war arrangement. Yeah, that turned out he was so good on the harmonica because I can't remember the guy's name. The old spaghetti westerns, there was a famous harmonica player. Charlie knew he was in the studio, and I told him what I wanted, and he was like, I didn't want to tell him what to play. I just told him what I was looking for. Man, he got that sound on "Take Me Back." That's just a cool. I love the harmonica. He makes it look so easy. I can play someone. I played on some of my own harmonica on some on music, but I'm certainly going to yield to Charlie on, when he's around.
It sounds like you got a great mix. You got a great album out there, Billy. And where can we find your release and all your music at, Billy?
Yeah. Fortunately, I got in on .com when I was young, so billyhubbard.com.
Okay.
That'll take you to the website, and it has all the info and that you need right there.
Okay, well, certainly check that out. We're here with Spectramusic's Billy Hubbard with a self-titled release, Tennessee-based Americana Country singer-songwriter here on the Mike Wagner Show. And just a few more things, Billy. We'd love to have you back. And what else can we expect from you in 2024 and beyond?
Well, it's kind of crazy when you produce a record. It's almost like you're exhausted I produced this one and wrote the songs and tweaked them all and finished composing them all. It's kind of rare nowadays to have, an album where a solo writer. Can't remember who it was. It was a big deal when a Grammy, somebody won a Grammy and it was like, they wrote the whole song, in Nashville. Now nobody does that, but I wrote all these songs myself. So now my next project is I've got a whole nother set, but you really have to, there's a lot of artists out there that I agree with who say, when you get creative, do some creative work, you can't just like go constantly. You have to like take a little break. But this year I'm starting on the next one, and but folks can keep up with me and see what's coming up on, like I say, on billyhubbard.com.
All right. Well, certainly keep up to date as well, too, and get up to speed here. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Oh, man, that's a tough one there. Man, there's like so many. I think, well, you know what? I'm a story singer. Guy Clark, man, he's pretty good. John Prine, those are a couple of probably some of my. There's lots of rock and rollers, but as far as singer-songwriters, I say Guy Clark, John Prine, man, it's hard to get past that.
Mm-hmm. And certainly did as well, too. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point, Billy?
For an artist, you said?
Just anything in general.
Oh, well, I don't know how to give advice unless they're an artist. As far as artists, I would probably say, in the music world, one thing I've learned even when I was doing A&R work is artists, they tend to what we call an upside down wedding cake, for example. They try to go out and do too much before they have the foundation. You have to have the content before you start build. It's like building a house, or of course, or anything else. You have to have good content before you start spending a lot of money on promoting something, or take your time. I see so many young folks that I used to do Smarts Development, and they're in a hurry to get it out there, but it's best just to slow down, get your content, write good songs. And unfortunately, it's kind of unfortunate if you're young. When I was young, I didn't have any experience. You have to. It's one of the advantages of getting old. You went through a lot of stuff. So
hey, I'm with you right there. It's like I've always believed in building a foundation before anything else. A lesson to all you people out there: you got to build a foundation first. Take it from us people. So
yeah, man.
And certainly do.
Some advantage to getting older.
Exactly. There you go. And once again, with the amazing multi-talented Billy Hubbard of Spectramusic with his self-titled release here on the Mike Wagner Show. Billy, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. Once again, what's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out your music?
Well, thanks so much for having me, Mike. billyhubbard.com. We'll have the links there. Of course, the album's released through Spectrum on all the major platforms, Apple, and Amazon and everywhere else, Spotify. So, yeah, please check it out because I feel like there's something in this record for everybody. It's got quite a variety.
Yes, indeed. We'll certainly check that out. Once again, Billy, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. We wish you all the best. And Billy, you definitely have a great future ahead of you.
Thanks, Mike.
Lonesome when I'm with you. Miss you when you're gone. Here we are together. Feeling all alone.
Lonesome when I'm with you. It's so hard for me to say that although you're right beside me, you feel so far away.
I miss you when I'm with you, not when you go away. My heart feels so empty. Somehow we lost our way. Lost our way. Lost our way. How did we lose our way? What about those roses we planned to smell along the way? The thorns of life came along, such a high price to pay. I miss you when I'm with you, not when you go away. My heart feels so empty. Lost our way, lost our way, lost our way. How did we lose our way?
This old house feels so empty. No matter what I do, so much love, I gotta find my way back to you.
I'm lonesome when I'm with you. I miss you when you're gone.
here we are together, still feeling all alone.
Lonesome when I'm with you.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show. Brought to you by international award-winning author Mia Mosin-Zia of Missing, and powered by Sonic Web Studios. Be sure to join us again on over 40 podcast platforms, and of course on the MikeWagnerShow.com, HamiltonRadio.net, and Diamonds FM. Don't forget to support our program with a generous donation at the MikeWagnerShow.com. Thanks for listening.